This is an interesting vegetable. It's a stem lettuce, and as you can, I don't know whether you can see that, it has a thick stem. It basically looks like it's bolting. It's very much like a wild lettuce. And so the leaves aren't all that great. They are pretty though, with a red tinge. But it's the stem that you eat. It's a Chinese vegetable, and it's quite long. So so what I'm going to do is cut it down, and it's ready to eat now. It's a nice size. There we go. This is some celery from last year. It's now bolting, but I had another one here, and that bolted as well. And I ate it. It tasted lovely, and but it didn't taste lovely until you put newspaper around it to blanch it. This is a variety called Giant Red, and you can see the red tinging. And but it's the stuff underneath the newspaper that's the best tasting. So preventing light getting to it sweetens the flavour, takes away the bitterness. And you do get a load of slugs and stuff hiding underneath the newspaper. And oh my god, 2 massive snails and a load of wood lice. But that will be very tender. It's a nice colour on there as well. Oh, get off. Delicious. So I've got a lot of this is a red vein spinach, and as you can see it's bolting, but it's producing really well while it bolts. So there's great big volumes of this red vein spinach everywhere around the garden. It's pretty and it's really tasty. There's some more there. Next to some more of the stem lettuce. So, but it's not happy there. I'm going to. It might be a little bit dry. I have taken some leaves. As you see, the coriander behind it's bolting as well. That's not particularly happy. So I might try and refresh this this tray with something else. But I'm running out of stuff. I've taken a lot down the allotment. I'll see what I can rummage up. So as you can see, the greenhouse has been completely revolutionised as we get ready for summer. And but I have a few things sort of in my backup. So a lot of things are being eaten, spring vegetables being eaten quite early. So that spinach is bolting in May when I would have expected the end of May. But anyway, so you've got some leeks in there. It's still a bit early. We've got some chard, red vein chard. This is cauliflower and dill, so that could be an option for going in one of those boxes. Maybe the chard as well, but it's a bit early. It might get, but it's quite easy to protect. I mean, there's lots of other things that aren't appropriate in a box, like squashes, peas. I might get away with it. It's a dwarf pea. It's got some beetroot. It's quite easy to defend those boxes against slugs because they're off the ground, they're on stones. So we've got a load of spring onions. So a lot of stuff that I'm growing is stuff I've had left over from last year, what with coronavirus and everything. You know, I can guarantee. I mean, I put an order in with the garden centre to get some stuff, and it was all wrong. Everything that came through. I got ordinary fennel instead of Florence fennel. So ordinary fennel is a herb, not a vegetable. So you know, things like that. Then none of the compost came, so I'm not very happy. There's a kale cutting there that's was suffering. It's doing a bit better now. That's an artichoke which I kept in reserve. That was a squash. That was saved from seed I saved last year. I have no idea what sort of squash that is, but it's going to be a nice little experiment finding out. But I saved the seed because I enjoyed eating it, so it can't be. It's got to be good. So for the boxes, it could be something like some spring onions. I think there's one bigger ones at the background can go in. Or beetroot. I'm not sure about cucumber. They're the dwarf cucumber, so they might be alright in the box. Or dill, or it could be a combination. Let's have a think. So this here is one of my overwintered chili peppers. I've got two, and this one is a lemon drop agi, and as you can see, most chilies, when you try and overwinter them, try and die, and half the plant did try and die, as you can see from the brown. There's quite a lot of brown stalks, but one stalk survived, which I don't really have the central heating on all that often. We're not that rich, but it's basically keeping it a little bit of water and keeping it free of white fly and green fly and brown fly and everything else, which will try and eat it, thrips and. But as you can see, that should race. It's much bigger than anybody else's chilies. That's because I kept it alive from last year. They are perennials, and so yeah, that's going to take off soon. But the danger time is spring, early spring. You think everything is going to survive now. We're out of winter, but you don't give it enough water. It runs out of water, gets attacked by greenfly, and then dies. So I've had it happen to me several times. So as soon as spring happens, give it plenty of water. I'm just doing a bit of tidying up now. If the take the dead and diseased stalks off. Now if that was, you can take a little bit off the end just to make sure it's dead. If it's green on the inside, don't carry on cutting because it'll sprout forward, but this is completely dry and dead, so I'm going to cut that back just to tidy it up more than anything else. insect little colony in there as well, which I got rid of, and that'll be a whole lot more healthier. This beauty is Ricotta. It's been green all through the winter. It's lost a few leaves in spring, like I say, if you're not careful with the whitefly and you don't water it enough. But it's going to be enormous once it goes outside in the summer. But again, you clean the leaves off with soapy water, and makes a fine house plant as well. So I thought what I'm going to so yeah, those spinaches are going to come up, and that Baltic coriander, and I think I'll probably put some, yeah, I've been thinking about it, if you yeah, spring onions. I'm going to put spring onions in there. So these stalks can get a bit tough, but sometimes you just break a bit off and try it, chew it. Yeah, it's got too tough, but these too many fibres. But these end bits are lovely, up to about there, all the way down. Great. Just put it in your cooking. I've bunged them in about 10 to each station. I put them a bit closer together than I would normally put things, but let's see how they get on. I'll give them a good watering now.